Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Corey. It's been a while since I've uploaded a YouTube video here to share with y'all my hunting setup. I've made a lot of changes on my rig and I want to share that with you, talk a little bit about the new high rack, talk about some tripods I'm running, new ball heads, all that good stuff. So I'll just give you a brief overview and then we'll kind of dive into some of this stuff. Up top, I am running, it's a Daniel Defense 6.5 Creedmoor. I have the SilencerCo Omega on there, and I've got a Pulsar Thermion XG50. It's a thermal night scope, and it's pretty much my go-to hunting rig for hogs, coyotes, and I'd say 80% of the time I'm gonna take that out. That's gonna be my go-to thing. Now, you'll notice that it is sitting up on the new high rack. I got this chair from Texas Predator Hunting. It's the TPH business class chair. And essentially they give you the frame of the chair. And then you'll see I've got the boat seat that I would sit up on. It's a turret style chair. It swivels 360 degrees and it's extremely stable, extremely quiet. I've had a lot of people ask, do you have somebody drive you around while you're up in the chair and you're shooting hogs and shooting coyotes? And that's not how that chair is used. That would be dangerous. It's a stationary hunting chair. So I park the Ranger, I climb up there, I get set up, I start calling, or I just start spotting hogs or whatever it may be. But it's not a mobile hunting rig. So I just want to clear that up for safety purposes. But anyways, I have the gun connected to the chair using the 2VX ball head. I've got an Arca Swiss rail on my Daniel Defense, the 6.5 Creedmoor, and that goes onto the 2VX ball head, and it gives me a lot of flexibility with a lot of stability. Whenever I'm on this rig, it's not perfectly level every time whenever I set up and when I park somewhere, and most of the time it's at night, so it's hard for me to tell exactly what's level ground. But that allows me, whenever I get up there, and especially if I swivel from shooting a little bit downhill and swivel over here to shooting a little bit uphill, I can adjust it, I can get leveled up and make sure that I'm making a good shot and I'm not in an awkward position where I'm kind of have my gun canted over to the side one way or the other based on which way the Ranger's sitting. So anyways, that is an overview of the TPH, Texas Predator Hunting business class chair. The rack that it's sitting on is a rack that I had built. One of my buddies welded it. I gave him the specs on the Ranger, told him I wanted something that I could sit down in the bed. I gave him the specs on the chair and how that would mount up. So we were able to weld that together, get it put together. And I had another buddy of mine powder coat the whole thing so that it's a little bit more weather resistant and it's got a nice matte black finish. The next thing I've got, and I think this is probably the most important part of your hunting rig, is gonna be what you're scanning with. So it's one thing to have a rifle and be scanning with it, but if you do that, realistically, you're gonna drain your battery pretty quickly. You're not gonna have your face down there, and it's also not 100% safe to be scanning with a rifle everywhere you're looking. So I highly recommend having something you scan with. For me, that's the Team Wendy helmet. Up top, I have the iRay MH25. It is a 1 power magnification, and you can do a digital zoom in, but I like to have it set on 1 power because what I'll do is I'll hop in the Ranger, I'll take the windshield out. You gotta have the windshield out or it doesn't work because it's thermal and you can't see through glass or plastic. But I'll hop in the Ranger, I'll flip this down, and I'll just drive around scanning for stuff. Coyotes, hogs, whatever it may be. And you'd be surprised how comfortable animals are with the Ranger when it's pitch black. I've gotten to within 30 or 40 yards of a couple of boars at night and they have no idea that I'm there. Or maybe they do, but the hum of the engine doesn't really seem to scare them. And if you leave it running whenever you get out to shoot them, then you'll probably have a good chance of getting them. But if you turn your Ranger off, that's what scares them. So if you're out driving and you're scanning, leave your engine running and you'll get a shot. So anyways, it's a Team Wendy helmet. I've got it on a Wilcox mount. I don't know the model number. I can put that in the description. But anyways, it's a flip up sight, a flip up mount, locks into place so I can flip it up whenever I'm ready to shoot. I've got some cables back here that run to an Anchor battery pack. I've got the, this is, I think it was called the Tomahawk battery pack, and that's from, I think, Cry Precision. I've got a little light over here that I run on the side, and this battery pack will pretty much run this iRay almost all night. So it's pretty effective, and it allows you to scan hands-free. And like, especially for me, I do a lot of mouth calls for coyotes. So whenever I'm calling, I want to be hands-free, but I also want to be able to see 360 degrees. So guys, here's essentially what I do whenever I'm up here. As you can see, this thing swivels 360 degrees. What I love about this setup is I've got the ball head up here on these mounts. You've got 3 on this business class chair. I could have a light over here, a spotlight. If I didn't have a thermal set up, I could have my spotlight, I could have a camera, I could have 2 spotlights, whatever it may be. But the way I hunt is I use all thermal. It's in the pitch black. And I'll be up here, I'll have my thermal flipped down, I'll be scanning, I'll be checking things out. And whenever I see something and I'm ready to shoot, I'm gonna flip that thermal up. I'm gonna get down on the gun, get my scope turn on, and then I can cant this rifle whatever way I need to make sure that it's level for the shot. And then I just tighten it into place, maybe leave a little bit of tension in there if I need to move, but I can get pretty steady on this. And if you see, I've got 3 points of contact on the rifle. I've got this hand, and I've got it on my shoulder, and I can get pretty steady. It's almost like shooting off of a bench or shooting off some bipods. But anyways, it's a super cool setup. Business class chair. I've got the 2 Vets ball head. I don't remember what model it is. It's on an Arca Swiss mount here, connected to the rifle with an Arca Swiss plate. I got that from Area 419 as well. And like I said, Pulsar Thermion XG50, 6.5 Creedmoor Daniel Defense with the SilencerCo Omega 300 on the end of it. Over here, this is another night rig. It's once again, it is the 2 Vets tripod, and I've got the same ball head up there that I've got right here, and it's just a swivel ball head. You can see I can be extremely flexible with it, but whenever I lock that ball head in, I get right there, I get on my target, and I'm ready to go and ready to make an effective shot on anything that's out there. This rifle is the Daniel Defense. It's a 300 blackout, and I've got the Omega 9K up here. It alternates between a 9mm and 300 blackout. On top, I've got the Pulsar Trail 2 XP50 laser rangefinder attachment. Both of these Pulsar scopes are extremely effective, really high quality, not top of the line, but also not top of the price range either, but really good scopes. The Thermion XG50 has a base magnification of 3.5 times. The Trail 2 has a base magnification of 2.5 times. Both have their place. With the Thermion 2, it's better for those longer range shots, especially with coyote hunting. With the Trail 2, or sorry, the Thermion XG, not the Thermion 2. Well, with the Trail 2, it has a little bit wider range of field of view on the scope. So if you are hog hunting and you get in a batch of them and you're in some thicker stuff, you've got a little bit more field of view to work with. Now over here, this is my kind of my go-to day rig for coyote hunting. It's a Remington AR-15 chambered in 223. I've got it on a Kopf-Jaeger Reaper grip. Up front, you'll notice it's got this compensator on here. This is a QD mount that will take that suppressor. It's the SilencerCo 300 Omega, and you can put it on this rifle. It's interchangeable for almost all of my rifles. So it makes it super easy whenever I want to go from day hunting to night hunting, and I don't have to go and buy a new suppressor for every single rig, even though that would be awesome. But anyways, it's a 3x9x50. It's a Firedot reticle, and I've killed a ton of coyotes with this. It's sitting in the Kopfjäger Reaper grip. It's a slick AMT tripod, and it's not quite as I don't know what the word is. There's not as much variation in how you can level this thing up. So you got to be pretty much perfectly level, because when you step behind this rifle, if you have to transition over this way and your tripod's leaning, it's going to be an awkward shot. Your rifle's going to be canted, and that's why I really like these ball heads from Two Vets. I actually think I got the whole setup from Area 419. I'll have to put that in the screen on what that is. I think it's Area 419. Maybe it says it on here. It doesn't. But anyways, I love the ball heads. That's the way to go. That was the upgrade that I had from the Kopfjäger Reaper grip. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to update y'all real quick on the whole setup, let y'all get a look at it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. Be sure and like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, check out some of the other videos. I've only gotten to take this rig out once, and I haven't uploaded that footage yet, but I hope to get it up, or maybe I'll throw it in this video. But it's a really cool setup. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. I'll talk to you soon.